Okay, I'd like to welcome you all to 1 Million Cups. We're going to get going early. We're going to flip real quick through this here because we have a full schedule today. You're getting more than your money's worth. We are 1 Million Cups based on the Kosman Foundation out of Kansas City. 1 Million Cups meets all over the United States every morning for networking, coffee, and presentations by up-and-coming startups. These are our sponsors. You can read through them real quick. I'm not going to highlight every one of them, but I do want to thank Don't Panic Labs for this awesome space, and of course the mill for the all-important coffee. And if you're here today, you can work at Fuse Co-working or Turbine Flats free of charge. These are our organizers. Most of them have these shirts on. If you're interested in presenting or think somebody else should be, talk to one of us. Be sure to check in. There's barcodes on the tables. There's back by the coffee there. That lets us know you're here, lets us know how many attended, and you will get on our mailing list, and you'll get probably one email a week just letting you know what's coming up on the next. We are not going to have office hours today because we do have a full schedule. Please silence your phones. And then we've got one presenter, and then after that, we have the entrepreneur students from Nebraska Wesleyan who are going to be giving their pitches as part of their practice for the pitch competition. So that's going to be very interesting. So with no further ado, our first presenter is going to be Open Range, Jocelyn and Laurel. So let's give them a big 1 Million Cups welcome. Woo!
Hi, my name is Jocelyn. I'm not here with Laurel today. She is out and about in the community, but I'm from Open Range. I'm actually from Lincoln originally, in Omaha now. Open Range is a newer nonprofit based in Omaha. We are serving the broader Nebraska community and are really focused on the startup ecosystem in Nebraska. We started from a report that was developed about 2 years ago with some major stakeholders kind of in the Omaha and Lincoln areas. They did a research report kind of looking at what are some of the more up-and-coming metropolitan areas doing in terms of the startup ecosystem and economic development. And from this report, there were kind of 3 primary recommendations that came out of that. This is available on our website. If you Google Silicon Prairie Rising Report, you'll find it. You can get all the findings. But the one thing that we focused on specifically to start, or where kind of the inception point of Open Range was creating, funding, and supporting strong regional organizations, or a regional organization, to lead the development of Nebraska's innovation economy. So Open Range came as a part of that sort of specific initiative, and there were kind of 4 key areas where they thought that this organization or this particular backbone entity could focus on: entrepreneurial support, workforce development, venture capital expansion, and public policy advocacy. Obviously, there are a lot, there's a lot here in these 4 categories. So where we decided to focus on first is entrepreneurial support. We recognize that there's a lot of great organizations in Omaha, Lincoln, broadly, that are doing a lot of these other things, including entrepreneurial support, but that was one area that we could kind of get our feet wet and get hands-on experience with, both on the ground with experiences locally, and especially in my role as a program and events manager, really working directly with founders and connecting them to the resources that they potentially need. And so part of that is connecting to groups like 1 Million Cups, Don't Panic Labs, LPED, a lot of the groups that exist already here, and having them work better together, connect all the folks that are a part of those different disparate organizations, and seeing how they can kind of boost the broader economy here in the area. So one way that we're doing that, and this is going to be the shortest presentation of all time, is that we are hosting a startup weekend in Omaha, June 7th, or 5th through 7th rather, that should say 2026, not 2025, in Catalyst in Omaha. It is something that you guys have probably been familiar with. We haven't really had a formal startup weekend professionally, like on the more professional side. I'm assuming a lot of you have been a part of hackathons and different types of weekends like this in terms of the university systems or within kind of your academia. But we're bringing it back kind of full force. We have a relationship with the Techstars community, and so we have their playbooks and programming to help kind of put this on. The way it works is that you'll show up on a Friday night, pitch a brand new idea. We invite anybody to participate in this. the top like 8 to 10-ish ideas or so will be moving forward through the weekend. You will join a team. So it's all about giving first, giving back to the community, joining a team and helping them see that product or business through to the end, having some sort of viable MVP prototype by the end of the weekend. You'll work over the course of Saturday and Sunday and then pitch on Sunday afternoon to a panel of judges with one grand prize. We're hoping to have a certain amount of non-dilutive cash, potential for investment, and then some in-kind services available for those winners. So we'd love for you to join. We just launched our website today, or the landing page for it. So if you go to openrange.org/startup-weekend, really sexy URL, you'll find all the information there. There's a Luma registration where you can sign up and pay for your tickets. Leaving you just with our kind of broader overarching mission is open to all. If you have any questions about what we do or want to kind of share your feedback about what you are looking for in this space, please come see me. I'm on LinkedIn. Yes?
So I'm going to hit you with a very off-the-wall.
I love it.
Last year when we did the 10-hour challenge,
Yeah.
one of the things I noticed is a lack of female participation.
Yeah.
What are you doing to get more women at that event?
Thank you so much for asking. This isn't prompted, and I actually have a real answer. We have been, so Laurel and I are obviously females. I guess you don't know Laurel, or maybe you do, but she is a woman. One of the bigger kind of areas of support that we're focusing on is on underrepresented founders. And so one of the things that we did for this particular event is actually go out to women, BIPOC, LGBTQIA representation for mentorship. So we actually went out to them first and said, hey, we want you to be a part of this. And surprisingly, or maybe not surprisingly, we got so much overwhelming support and willingness to be at this event. So I think if you just make those like extra steps to look for folks that are willing to participate, they will be there. So that's one of the main things that we're doing. We're also looking at childcare support. We're in the very early phases of this. So we're really trying to do that. We're trying to work with the Child Savings Institute. So if anybody has a connection there, please come find me. I've been trying to get in touch with them, but if nothing else, we're going to look at potentially offering stipends for babysitters or things like that, so that parents and especially women can be in attendance. So those are kind of the two things that we're at least doing for this event. In particular, we're wanting to host a lot of the panelists that we'll have for the sessions are going to be primarily female, people of color. So we're really trying to diversify the event and make sure that we're inclusive of many different demographics. Thanks, Lindsay. Yeah.
And we got time for one more question, and then Jocelyn will stick around and we can talk.
Yeah, of course. Yes. Cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
And one question we always ask at 1 Million Cups is, what can we as a community do for you?
Share your honest, candid feedback. I really want to hear it, even if you think it's hard. I want to know that information. So thank you. Oh my gosh. Thanks so much. Hold on. Thank you. Appreciate it. No, I don't.
Okay, like I said, we have a full schedule today. So do you want to just announce a little bit about what is going to be happening here?
Hello, everybody. If we haven't met, I'm Sarah Spitzen. I'm the Director of Innovation and Entrepreneurship at Nebraska Wesleyan. And what we're going to be presenting to you today are our top 5 teams for our NW Pitch competition. NW Pitch is Wesleyan's original business idea competition. And everyone that you're going to see has already been through a preliminary round where 15 teams on campus came to compete for these top 5 spots. These students, after they were selected as top 5, have been working with expert mentors for the last several weeks, and they're working to refine their pitch before their final presentation, April 29th. We invite all of you to attend. There are some QR codes throughout here as well as on the back table for registration. We'll have food, we'll have some drinks, we'll have a lot of fun, and you'll get to see what these students have been working on in an even more in-depth pitch presentation. So, first up we have Gracie and Ella with Circa. And I'll let you guys get
Before they get going, a tradition that Brian Hardwick started years ago with the N Motion showcases, and it's sort of become a tradition for this type of thing. Before a presenter starts, we give them a standing ovation. Make them so for Sarah, Gracie. Awesome.
This is Claire. At home, she has a husband, a little boy who loves making messes around the house, soccer and dinosaurs, and a cat and dog. At the office, she owns her own marketing firm where she manages 10 employees, 35 clients, and a never-ending to-do list. Claire, on top of all of this, still makes time to work out, go shopping, maybe hang out with her friends, and also, like many women her age, she's interested in women's health. She wears her Oura Ring every day to track her sleep score and try to figure out what stage of the cycle she's in on any given day. Here's the problem, though. Claire has brain fog. Everything is everywhere in her mind. She's always burnt out, and she has 4 different calendars, but none of them talk to each other. What Claire might not realize is that as a woman, she is on a 28-day menstrual cycle. Men actually have a hormonal cycle as well. It's just 24 hours long. And so men fluctuate throughout the day, whereas Claire fluctuates throughout the month. Claire might just be struggling to get through the day because of the stage of her cycle she's in. And when she pushes through her lowest energy days, her body might genuinely just need rest. Claire can't balance all of her calendars and tracking her hormonal cycle. But what if this wasn't a problem?
Circa is here to solve this problem by curating a harmonized life driven by design. Circa is a women's health task management app that syncs your data from your wearable devices like your Apple Watch or Oura Ring so you can align your personal and professional calendar with your menstrual cycle. So instead of burning out and pushing through your lowest energy days, you can work with your body's natural rhythm to show up stronger, think clearer, and be more productive. With Circa, Claire can seamlessly sync all of her calendars, like Outlook, Google, and Apple, all into one place. Circa reduces stress, eliminates calendar overload, and simplifies daily planning. On top of consolidating your calendars, Circa will also have other features like a family planning calendar, personalized meal prep suggestions based on what phase of your cycle you're in, and a productivity optimization tool. Everything that Claire needs in one place. Welcome to Circa.
What's amazing about Circa is that Claire isn't getting anything new. She's just getting everything consolidated. And so let's talk about numbers. Although we're in the task management and women's health market, we really wanted to focus on the women's health market because it's ever growing. You might think there's no room for us in this oversaturated market, but it just continues to grow. With a compound annual growth rate of over 6%, this industry is going to be worth over $60 billion by the year 2030. Plus, Gracie and I did our own research with the women on our campus, and turns out most of the women don't even know on any given day what stage of the cycle they're in, let alone how to optimize that for productivity and for genuine help. Plus, all of the women, except 2%, said that they would benefit in learning more about how to track their cycle and then implement that into their day-to-day life.
Our target market for Circa is women ages 25 to 40 within the Midwest, making roughly $60,000 a year. Through market research, we are confident that we can gain 10,000 subscribers in our first year, generating $2.4 million of revenue. This means by year 3, we will have roughly $3.75 million of revenue.
I'm Ella.
And I'm Gracie.
And we're the co-founders of Circa.
What we're looking for now is connections and guidance in the software and women's health and femtech fields to help get our business launched and off the ground.
This is Circa. Reclaim your rhythm.
Okay, be safe. We can take 2 quick questions.
Can you go back to the previous slide where you asked questions?
This one? Yeah.
What's been the most surprising piece of like research or information or feedback that you've received as you've been developing this?
Yeah, as we've been continuing to work on this since giving this initial presentation, we learned about a lot of women that are already tracking their hormones and their health, and they just keep glowingly reviewing how much it changes their life. But we realized that a lot of women don't even have time to do that. And so our app would allow them to do these things that are life-changing for so many women and that they're begging other women to do without sacrificing their own time and trying to make time within their calendar to do that.
there are a lot of competitors out there doing similar things, one way or another. How do you address the competitions?
Yeah, for sure. So there is a lot of apps within the femtech and period tracking space, but our app wants to combine your calendars with your menstrual cycle so you can be more productive. And through the research that we've done, there's nothing like that on the market. There's kind of the two separate sides, and our goal is to combine the two.
And in consolidating those, you can actually just use what you're already using, but within our app, so that it's just alongside your calendar. So if you're paying for the Natural Cycles app, we're not competing with them. We're actually implementing their work into ours to make it easier for women to actually reach out and to understand their bodies more.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Now, you already stated it, but just quick again, what can we as a community do for you?
Yeah, I think right now the biggest thing that we're looking for is just connections, especially within those software and women's health fields. So if any of you have any connections for us, please come chat with us afterwards. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up next,
And say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Us older people might get that joke. The younger ones probably don't. Randy's laughing.
all right, up next we have Amarachi with her company, Abroad Match.
And let's give her a standing ovation.
Okay, hello everybody and good morning. My name is Amarachi. I am a senior chemistry and math major at Nebraska Wesleyan, and today I will be pitching to you Abroad Match. When you look at this, what do you think of? You see a lot of pictures, it kind of looks fun, it looks exciting. Well, these pictures don't even capture my study abroad experience last year when I went to Monterrey, Mexico. I show this picture to people and they think, oh my God, that looks so fun. I want to do that. Well, you can. Presenting to you Abroad Match. Abroad Match is a study abroad financial and behavioral platforms that helps reduce the problem of low study abroad rates on liberal arts campuses, just like Nebraska Wesleyan. Basically, you ask, why would I want to create a platform like Abroad Match? Well, there's a lot of problems that come into lots of students not studying abroad. First thing is finances. We see a lot of students not studying abroad because they're afraid they won't be able to afford it, although there are tons of scholarships out there willing to finance that. Graduation schedule is a big one. People are afraid of not being on track to graduate, missing classes, being a semester behind. Well, Abroad Match solves that problem by creating a specialized schedule for you that helps you track your credits, your classes needed towards graduation, and all your requirements. Risk and uncertainty. People are scared. They don't want to go out of their comfort zone. Well, Abroad Match is here to kind of find programs for you that fit within what you would like to do and at the same time not push you too far out so you don't lose yourself. Procrastination. Lots of students procrastinate, including I do. I said I was going to do homework last week. I still haven't done it. Well, guess what? Abroad Match does that for you so you don't have to procrastinate. It's there to keep up with all your finances, your graduation schedule, remind you of deadlines, and so much more. And the last problem is intent without action. Students don't study abroad because they don't want to jump through all the hoops that they require in order to meet with advisors, ask questions, fill out forms. Well, Abroad Match helps you do that from the comfort of your room. So if you're busy or you don't have time, well, there's a software for you. Who's our target market? First and second year undergraduates unsure about studying abroad. My mom always says, catch them young. And that's the fastest time to catch them, because that way they're able to plan and figure out when do I want to go and where do I want to go. STEM majors. STEM majors actually stand to benefit the most from studying abroad because they have the most career ROI. Well, they don't, because they usually feel I'm so busy and I don't have time. Telling you, as a STEM major, study abroad was one of the best things I ever did. It helped me build so many connections and kind of just replan my life into, wow, where do I want to work when I grow up? And in what industry do I really want to put my skills to use? First-gen and Pell eligible students, believe it or not, but these are the students who stand the most to gain in terms of financial ability. There are tons of scholarships, grants out there to support students in studying abroad. More target markets include study abroad offices that want higher participation rates, and in general, just institutions that are trying to increase their global engagement metrics. The business model for a broad match would be a university licensing model, which some of you might be familiar with. Annual subscriptions, in my opinion, tend to make more money than one-time fees. If a university is able to invest even just $250 a month, where 5 students are using a broad match, they're able to make back that money in tuition. There are going to be branded versions which are customized by campus that fits the need of the students on that campus and specifically what that campus is looking for in terms of increasing their study abroad rates. Many of you might be familiar with Linktree, where you can look at your analytics, see how many people are clicking on your links. A broad match is going to employ a similar model, but solely for administrator access. So those who are already working in offices that promote global engagement on school campuses are able to see how well this is working and how the metrics are influencing what students are doing. What is the competitive advantage of a broad match, you might ask? Like, why would someone want to do this? Well, it offers predictive modeling and offered is greater than advising. Personally, I was scared to go abroad. Even though I've done it before, there's a lot that came to mind. Will the people like me, which every single college student thinks of? What does it look like? Do a lot of people look like me? Will a lot of people understand the way I speak? Well, a broad match is here to help you in terms of that by connecting you with identity like alumni. At Nebraska Wesleyan, we have something called a career network. It helps you as a student connect with alumni who are in fields that you would like to go through. A broad match offers kind of the same concept. It also offers clarity. As a student worker at the Office of Global Engagement for the past 3 years in college, I have seen that more brochures does not equal more clarity. We have more brochures than our office can take, but we're now getting way more students. Well, how am I going to measure that our broad match is truly working? Well, first thing is, we hope to increase sophomore study abroad intent to application conversion by 20%. We have lots of students who come in interested in studying abroad, starting an application and never finishing. A broad match is here with its consistent bugging to help you. The second metric, increase underrepresented participation by 15%. There are lots and lots of opportunities for students out there, irrespective of where you're from, your background, where you'd like to go, and what you'd like to learn. Third metric will be to reduce financial withdrawals due to confusion. People are like, oh, well, I just realized I won't be able to afford that. A broad match is here to help you with your budget, your finances, and even continue to provide grants and scholarships for you even when you have committed to a program. Who's on the team? Well, a study abroad student specialist like me who's worked in the Office of Global Engagement for 3 years and kind of knows the ins and outs of studying abroad. An MVP developer, a study abroad advisor, which you have at every university with a study abroad office, and a behavioral science lead, because this is not really a problem of people don't want to do it, it's a problem of people don't follow through. The ask for a broad match. Well, this software is estimated for development to cost about $8,000. Platform development for $2,000, user interface design for $2,000, data modeling for $1,000, and pilot testing for $3,000. The long-term vision of a broad match is to be able to expand to all Midwestern liberal arts colleges, to add graduate programs, because I was so excited abroad when I got to make friends in graduate schools who their universities had actually incorporated graduate programs into study abroad. I hope a broad match is able to integrate with financial aid offices to kind of make the process a little bit smoother in terms of scholarships, grants, and so much more. And most importantly, become the national infrastructure for study abroad decision making. Thank you.
And again, what can we as a community do for you?
Well, thank you. I would say as a community, you can help encourage people who are interested in studying abroad, first of all, to take the first step. I've been collecting a lot of data, and the more I see is that lots of students are interested in doing it, but they're not able to follow through. I want to be able to kind of pilot test on my own and see if I were able to give students like a little bit of this and a little bit of that, the things that a broad match has to offer, would they be more interested in following through?
Okay, very good. And I just real quickly would like, I know some of the students have to leave a little early, but those that are here when we get done, we would like you to meet up here real quick to get a picture with all the organizers and the presenters. So,
All right, come on up, guys. All right, up next we have Bruce and Jake with High Country Trust.
give them a standing ovation. Woo!
Hello everyone, my name is Bruce Archambault, a sophomore at Nebraska Wesleyan, and I'm joined with my partner,
Jake Rhodes, I'm a senior.
and we're here to show you our app, High Country Trust. The problem that we see today is that a lot of these small to mid-sized contracting companies struggle with real-time job site visibility and task coordination. This leads to reliance on phone calls, text messages, or underdeveloped software, which then leads to missed service areas, poor crew communication, as well as wasted labor hours and resources. A specific example of this in the snowplow industry is, let's say Jake and his crew of 3 go out to snowplow this apartment complex. Jake says, I'll start with section A, you do section B, and then you do section C. But what happens when somebody is ahead or behind schedule and is relying on these underdeveloped forms of software, whether that be phone call or text? Well, that's where we come in with a solution.
So after working in snow for the past few years, we thought the best solution to this would be a GPS-powered management app designed specifically for these small contractors and seasonal service crews. An app like this would have a couple features, such as the ability for employees to clock in and be tracked through GPS, as well as the ability for the employers to assign tasks live and communicate with their crew. One feature Bruce and I thought of would be an eagle eye map feature that would give a visual representation of your sites, not only for the employer, but the employees to track. And then finally, some extra completion data and job efficiency analytics to help these contractors figure out where they're most efficient and where they need to improve. The goal of this would be to keep it simple and easy for anyone to integrate into what they're already doing. So what's this going to look like? Well, revenue-wise, we were thinking of subscription-based service with different tiers of pricing depending on the size of your crew. We would also offer additional add-on features such as customization or even deeper data analytics for these specialized service crews. Pricing-wise, we were thinking a seasonal 4-month rate based on the number of employees you have. An example of this would be 10 or 0 to 10, 10 to 20, or 30 plus. The reason we do this is that in the snowy months when you are using our app and you transition into the spring season or another service-based season, you want to come back to our app and keep using it, as well as for different contractors who might only specialize in one season-based service. The goal of this would be to avoid annual construction price plans where they take the price of all your projects and bill you based off of that. For these small contractors, we want to keep it simple and avoid that and focus on the size of your crew. Growth-wise, we were thinking equipment tracking, so that could be mowers, blowers, trucks, shovels, anything that you're using to be more efficient. And we just want to start with a really solid small contractor foundation and build our app off of that.
For our target market, it's going to be these small to mid-sized contractors and service-based crews who operate in these very fast, reoccurring job environments. It's going to be these smaller crews, like we mentioned, anywhere from 3 to 30 employees. These are the ones that manage multiple job sites seasonally, experience that very high seasonal turnover, and rely on these very informal forms of communication systems. And for the market opportunity, we believe that living in Lincoln is a great place to start. There are 500 to 750 local small contractors within the Lincoln and Omaha area alone. And as we said, we focus on contractors who need simple, affordable, and field-ready technology, not this enterprise-level construction software. Thank you. We'd now love to welcome any questions.
Couple questions. Anybody have a question?
Yes, sir.
Have you run this idea through any contractors, and what is the feedback?
Yeah, so I currently work for a small contracting company, and I've been mentoring with them for the past few months, and I've ran the idea past them multiple times, and they really like it, and they've given us a lot of feedback on some additional things that they would like to see. And then Bruce and I have also done a little bit of market research online, but that actually would lead into our ask, which would be
Yeah, just connections, right, to some of these small contractors to see that, like, we know the problem's real. Jake experienced it. We've done the market research, but is our solution the best one? So I think getting, like, face-to-face to meet some of these small contractors, see what they think about the pricing plan, right, with the number of employees. Does an app like this make sense to use if it's just these kind of, you know, like with the simple stuff that we're kind of going? So I think that would probably be our ask, is that just to get connection to some of these small contractors.
Anyone else? So what can we as a community do for you?
Yeah, connections to some small contractors, local.
Okay, thank you. And I apologize, Armish, I didn't give you a chance to answer a couple. Are you going to be around when so she can? And most of these will be around, so you can talk to them later. Okay, Sarah.
Okay, our next presenting group is Nellie and Alex with Dashboard.
Get standing ovation. Woo!
Hello, my name is Alex Pierce,
Hi, I'm Nellie Crano.
and this is our product Dash, which is a real-world coordination platform.
Right now, coordination is broken. Teams are using multiple tools, group chats, emails, spreadsheets, and nothing is really connected. This leads to a delayed response, confusion, and a lack of visibility into what's actually getting done for your team.
Dash brings everything into one place.
Hello. There we go.
Into one place. It allows teams to stay updated in real time, communicate instantly, and also make smarter decisions with live insights. Instead of switching between tools, everything lives in just one general centralized system.
Dash delivers powerful real-time coordination tools designed for teams that need to move fast and stay aligned. Our platform combines intelligent automation with intuitive interfaces and transforms how distributed teams work together. Our core features are designed specifically for how teams actually operate. Dash provides a live coordination dashboard, smart task assignment, and automated reminders to keep everybody accountable. And most importantly, it's built for high turnover, meaning when leadership changes, everything stays organized and runs smoothly. This for us is huge. Both of us are very involved on our campus. We're both in Greek life, and when our presidents are out the next semester, it kind of makes everything just fall apart. They don't remember what the history of, oh, how did we do this? Oh, what was in this email? This keeps it so when it's a new president, a new leadership team, everything stays consistent.
For our product roadmap, our strategic timeline for building the world's leading real-world coordination platform. Each phase builds upon the last, creating one foundation for sustainable growth and market leadership. Our first phase is launch. We would love to launch this website here at Nebraska Wesleyan University, plus other similar campuses across the Midwest. We want to focus on student organizations specifically, such as Greek life, other student clubs, and even some athletic teams. We want to build product around high turnover leadership needs. Next is phase 2, which is our scaling phase, which we want to expand across the campus. We want to partner with other student organizations, plus campus leadership groups, and finally also introduce premium features and subscriptions. And lastly, our third phase is our enterprise phase. We want to expand into businesses and organizations, all with similar coordination challenges. Target industries with high industry turnover, plus team coordination needs. And finally, we want to develop enterprise-level tools and integrations.
Traditionally, solutions rely on multiple disconnected tools. And every time leadership changes, the system resets. Dashboard replaces that with one centralized system that actually carries over. This gives teams real-time visibility, consistency, which is definitely something that can improve solutions.
Now for our business model. Dash operates on a scalable SaaS model. We offer subscription tiers for different levels of users, along with enterprise licensing and implementation services for larger student organizations. This allows us to grow with our users while also maintaining recurring revenue.
Dash, it's more than just a tool. It's the new way to coordinate in the real world. We're building a system that eliminates confusion, improves accountability, and helps teams actually execute. Thank you.
We got a couple. I'd like to ask you a quick question. Now, would something like Slack plug into this?
It's definitely something that would be different for us. Slack, we've tried it, we've used it. It doesn't cover what we need. It doesn't keep us accountable. It doesn't keep the turnover rates very high. It's hard for us to, in real time, learn whose task is whose and who's in charge of what without having one leader have all the burnout. So for Slack, it doesn't work for what we need. That's why Dashboard is supposed to kind of replace it.
Anyone else have a question?
Yeah.
So I was wondering, how do you feed all these source information to your system, to your platform, right? And also, like, I see this will be a very useful tool for onboarding, right? And also to prepare for succession, right? So how do you use your feature to, yeah.
So honestly, for us, it does take it will take some time to get your organization or your team's foundation, your history, how you guys work into it. But honestly, once you kind of figure out, oh, we like to use this spreadsheet to keep this document. Okay, well then we need to keep it all in Dash, and we need to keep it where everyone can access it and find out which kind of tools and niches work for each group specifically, which I think is kind of a big factor. I know for me specifically, I'm in Greek life, but I'm also in campus clubs and organizations. So for me, our campus or my Greek life fees, my tasks, our events, all of those things kind of get lost. So with Dash, keeping it all together, keeping everything kind of in one platform.
And I think too, for the both of us, just speaking from our experience, with being super involved on campus, I mean, yeah, there's only a few kind of apps and websites that people utilize, but there's some student organizations that don't even really share information coordinating, with each other. A lot of the stuff kind of just gets lost, or you try to reach out to somebody, and you want to request maybe a spreadsheet from them for budget tracking, and maybe they lost it, in their Excel files or something. They've only opened it maybe a couple of weeks ago, when you can just kind of upload it all just into that one area, and everybody's able to find something right in there.
Right, and maybe you can have a feature to stay in contact with leadership that's graduated or whatever, and then you create a long network.
Definitely.
To help. Yeah.
It's a great
That's
idea.
so cool. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And what can we as a community do for you?
Honestly, we would love any feedback on our slides. We kind of did something different from our last slideshow just to kind of try some new things out. So we would love some feedback, and thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you.
Okay, our final team we have presenting today is Kelby and Brock with Premier Umpires. Let's give them a standing ovation.
Tonight, a child will put on their jersey for the last time. They didn't know it then, but they wouldn't even be able to step onto the field for what would be their last game ever. Countless years of training, dedication, and making lifelong friends, just for it all to come to a devastating end. The reason? No officials showed up to the game. And with youth sports growing faster than ever, this problem is nationwide. Hi everyone, my name is Brock Anderson, and I'm the co-founder and COO of Officiator and Premier Umpires.
And I'm Kelly Zerman. I'm also a co-founder and the CEO of Premier Umpires and Officiator. In year one, Premier Umpires LLC was able to generate over $100,000 in revenue to covering over 1,000 games across the Lincoln area. In year two, Premier Umpires projected to do over $300,000 in revenue by covering over 3,000 games in the Lincoln and Omaha area. And we've been able to do this by adding over 200 new umpires to the workforce. We've added these umpires through boots on the ground recruiting at college campuses like Nebraska Wesleyan and the University of Nebraska, as well as a growing online presence across all social media platforms.
Across the country, most people think that the shortage of officials is due to difficult coaches and parents. However, we quickly noticed that the issue was not that no one wants to officiate due to grouchy spectators. The problem is no one knows how to get into officiating. The barriers to entry into officiating across the country are very high. Many umpire groups like Premier Umpires have almost zero digital footprint, making it nearly impossible for potential officials to get involved. Obstacles like these severely limit the amount of people in officiating, and furthermore, allow for thousands of games to go without a trained official each year. But what if it didn't have to be this way? What if coaches, officials, and umpire groups like Premier Umpires could all be connected in one place so that no game went without an official ever again? And that is exactly what we were building. That platform is Officiator. By eliminating the barriers to entry into officiating and allowing for umpire groups like Premier Umpires to directly connect with both coaches and officials, Officiator will serve every corner of the country in all sports.
Now let's take a step back to show how the whole process and system works right now. So a team or a term organization like Triple Crown that is in need of umpires for the games will contact an umpire group like Premier. It is now Premier's responsibility to find, recruit, and train umpires to cover those games for that tournament organization. And that is why officiators' primary target market is those umpire groups like Premier and other officiating groups across the entire country, across all sports. These officiating groups are in charge of organizing, training, and scheduling these officials, and we believe officiator can solve that problem, can help improve that job for them.
The benefits of switching to officiator are compelling. For one example, Premier Umpires currently pays $4,000 for a software called Orbiter Sports. Officiator would completely eliminate this cost for umpire groups like ourselves by pushing just a small fee onto the officials for using our platform. Officiator's revenue model will be simple. Each time an official works a game, a $1 fee will be withheld from their pay by officiator.
So why us? Why now? We know the client because we are the client. With Premier, Officiator will have over 200 users on the app as soon as it launches. Also, Premier, we've been able to gain connections with thousands of tournament organizations and baseball and sports organizations across the entire country. We have also learned that the youth sports industry is a $40 billion industry.
Premier Umpires has solved the problem locally, but then we realized that this is a national problem. Officiator is the solution to that problem. Thank you.
Couple questions?
Could you explain that revenue model again? Because you guys are working as a facilitating act between umpire officiating organizations.
Yes.
So essentially, they're more or less like the source. They're the employment agency for the local market.
Yes.
So this software, you're going to withhold $1 pay from each official who's a client of your client.
Yeah.
Instead of charging it actually to you directly to your client.
Yes.
Have them pay that.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering how.
Yes. So
how that structure works.
yeah. So for each game, so let's say Tim Kelby, for example, if you were to work 5 games this weekend, making roughly like $300, the officiator will profit $5 off of Kelby for doing those games for using our platform. Once the officials get on our platform, they'll have access to countless amounts of associations like us in their area, and they'll be able to get a lot more games than cold calling people and trying to find phone numbers that or emails that they are on the internet.
I like the scalability of this one. When you deal with youth sports officiating, it's kind of a local market.
Right.
Saturation is important, right? So like what you guys do, Premier Umpires.
Yes.
What's your geographic market, and what would peer organizations yours in different areas of the country? How would it benefit from the officiator app? What services provide?
So yeah.
How does that facilitate?
So us right now, we operate in the Lincoln and Omaha area. We have to go out and directly find these officials and meet them where they're at. So like you said, we go to different college campuses and things, and it takes a lot of time for us. The benefit for the associations like us is officiator will have a large database of users and officials that'll allow these associations to directly connect to these officials and to have them join their group. I'm personally a part of 7 different basketball signers, and none of them have a website. So if I didn't know that, it took me almost a year to just get into youth basketball because I couldn't find where to go. So our goal is to make it as simple and easy for potential officials to actually get involved and join the job.
And to go off that real quick, I'm also a part of 8 different basketball associations, and every single one uses spreadsheets, or I just text message or just send me an email or something like that. And what officiator, the goal is to make it easier for officials to just get started and find associations and then get games right away. There's also going to be training tools and all that on the app. So it's just like, if you want to umpire or officiate, you can do it as soon as you download the app. So.
Okay, so you're going to be managing the overall labor pool.
Right.
Correct.
Yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
You say you're going to withhold money from their pay. Does that mean that you're paying them, or do you?
So yeah, when the associations like us go to pay out, what officiator will do is they'll have their batch of games, and then we'll take a $1 pay from their fee, and then that money will be sent from the association like Premier Umpires to them. So if there's $1 fee will be subtracted like a line item from each game, that'll be sent to us, and then that money will then continue on to the officials.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
What can we as a community do for you?
We just want more mentorship and maybe just guidance on how to keep on growing and scaling this, especially with the development side of our new app officiator. We believe it can be a very big thing. We just need some help with how to get it started and how to get it and start improving on it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Let's give our Wesleyan teams another big applause. Woo! Now, if any of you think that you should be up here presenting, get in touch with one of the organizers and we'll get you into the queue there. If you know somebody that should be up here presenting, say, hey, check out 1 Million Cups and come back and bring your friends. Upcoming events. Tomorrow morning is Startup Coffee at the Crescent Moon in the basement, right across the street from Fuse, 8th and O Street. Goes from, I'm always 8 to 9? 9-ish, okay? No agenda, no program, just drink some coffee with your fellow startup entrepreneurs. And if you want something a little stronger, Friday afternoon, Boiler Brewing, which is in the basement of the old Federal Building, is Friday Founders and Friends. And that starts at 4 and goes to like 6:30-ish or whatever. And you can have beer, wine, cocktails, or Coke and coffee, whatever. But again, just hang out with your fellow entrepreneurs and talk about your challenges and successes and that sort of thing. Anything else coming up that anybody thinks we need to be aware of? Do you want to go over again what's going on at Wesleyan?
April 29th from 5 to 7, NWU pitch. You can find the QR codes around the room or come find me afterwards.
Yes.
April 28th, we have Women in Business from 1 to 5. It is open to the community and college students. Anyone can come and go there.
Yes.
Carolina Chamber of Commerce North America has a global startup challenge, and the deadline for application is April 26th.
And Dr. She can give you more information on it. Anybody else? Well, stick around, network a little bit. I'd say have some more coffee, but we're out. So we will see you all next week at 1 Million Cups. Woo!